Hello and welcome to Tuesday Night Torg, or as we like to call it here, Torg's Day Night on the Ulysses International channel. I'm Jamie, your GM. We are here with, I want to say the Horsemen, but really it's like three members of the Horsemen and Lapis. We are going to pick up where we left off last week, but before we jump into that, let me just give you guys a heads up on the Game on Tabletop crowdfunding for the New Frontiers Fading Suns crowdfunding. It will be over before we run Fading Suns on Thursday. So they have just crossed the right about the 78,000, 79,000 mark. They have unlocked, since the last time we talked to you guys about it, this is awesome, like a neoprene playmat for the Voldroks, the Battle Brother, or Brother Battle, and the Charioteers. So we've got the nice playmat here that came with the Kickstarters, a high-quality cardstock, kind of glossed playmat. These are actually going to be neoprene, so sort of what you would expect from a mouse pad. And they are very close, under $1,200 from unlocking the Battle Brother character sheet, which I think, or Brother Battle, I should say, that Maddie is excited about. I don't know why she would be excited about that. And then at $82,500, they're going to unlock a Voldroks character sheet. So if you enjoy what we do with Fading Suns, if you enjoy the original material from the Kickstarter, which I know Phantom does, check out the New Frontiers crowdfunding on Game on Tabletop. It will be live for about another 30 hours. So we'll give you a rundown of where it ended up on Thursday. So hello to Zero Earth Element and everyone else in the chat. Always good to see you all. Thank you for the possibility. Restar, calling you out specifically. Zero Earth Element gave possibilities all around.
Yeah.
Thanks, Zero Earth Element. When I read that, then they're going to... All right, fine. Everyone gets one, including the GM. Let it never be said that I did not give you something before I took a bunch of things away. So, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
Why do you get 12?
Well, sorry, you're right. 10. Because 2 for each of you.
Correct.
Plus the one that Restart gave me. Plus the one that Zero Earth Element gave me. So, when we last left off, we discovered a number of things. No matter how many times JM says that a safe house is safe, apparently it is not. When certain cards are played. Edith was, I won't say kidnapped, because you don't know what actually is going on with Edith, but Lily does.
She switched sides?
I'm just saying.
Did
I'm
Lily play
so
a
proud
romance
of her.
card?
Treachery.
Should we have... Is
Lies
Lily
and also lies.
taking a card out of Tyrannic's book and wooing this villain?
Listen, all I'm saying is that
It works.
Tyrannic is definitely the Woo Adinos of the party.
Okay.
So the group, to get Edith back, had to infiltrate this deep sea oil rig known as 00982. And we discovered, unfortunately...
Is that OO as in O or 0?
We discovered, unfortunately, that Lapis had a
Unfortunately.
old flame
Unfortunately.
on the on this ocean rig, and after some very awkward flirting, managed to get the group on board, where they're going to try and use the Najin Corp's 3D printing technology to print the heads of the Bureau G Storm Knights in order to...
If that doesn't work, we're just turning Bureau G in, right?
You don't know where Bureau G is. That's all that I'm going to say.
We can find it.
It's good to have you all in the chat. Phantom and Ben and Zero Earth Element, welcome. So we're going to pick up right where we left off, which was with Sanosuke furiously putting his clothes back on as the group entered the room. So
No.
Wait,
I
the
entered
group?
the room. I shut the door behind me, so
yes,
they
you guys
could
all
not.
heard.
Yeah.
You guys all heard muffled grunts from the other side of the bulkhead door.
What do you
It was super rude of her.
Yeah. So the door closes, and for some real weird reason, Tyrannic, you see the wheel spin. There's this. It got a wheel in the center of the door. What kind of nonsense is that?
Right.
So,
Mm-hmm.
Lapis.
Sanaske?
So you brought friends.
Okay.
Are you putting
I
the
got
glass?
I have a glass for some reason.
I feel like all Michael wants out of this game is for Tyrannic to wear a fake mustache and listen at a door with a glass. I'm going to give you that first one. You don't even have to worry about like fleshy ears. You can just
I mean,
put
if you
your
want the
little ear
mustache,
hole.
I have some like.
No, I already have a mustache on.
Yeah,
It's-
remember discount Henchman Emporium.
Henchman Depot, right? Where all your henchmen
Henchmen
needs.
are us.
I feel like there is a thriving secondary market in Torg for henchman apparel and equipment. It's,
Yeah.
probably run by the Frenchmen, if I think about it just a little bit, or a subsidiary of Frenchmen Incorporated. So.
The friends are to help me with what I actually need to do here.
Oh, I can hear it.
But it's business, and
No, I get that.
yeah.
So, you need access to the labs like now.
I've got like 44 hours before I have to give somebody some heads.
Yes, but the security on this rig, you won't survive for 44 hours.
Right. So
My
like,
guess is 42 minutes tops.
So right, faster, better.
Staying focused. So, all right, where do you need to go?
Like, no. Okay.
Where do you need to go?
The lab. I've got DNA samples. Gotta print something. I'm not in charge.
Sanosuke looks at you as if he is, I don't know, possibly the Yanni Tor of this rig. He has no clue what you're talking about.
Is
Labs?
the labs.
The labs are the most heavily guarded area of this entire rig. What is your plan?
Is there a time they're like less heavily guarded? You know, when everybody's asleep or something?
Listen, you don't build a secret research facility in the middle of the South China Sea and then go, you know, it's fine, 8 hours of where anyone could just walk in.
But you're in the middle of the South China Sea. Look. Do you remember? Do you know who Harani is?
Like, all of the color drains from his face. Meanwhile, out in the corridor, you see, like, two people, like, turn the corner and start walking down the hallway towards you guys. What do? They're talking to each other. They're in lab coats.
Is there a broom around?
Yeah,
Sure.
can you describe okay, so we took an elevator up or down?
You took an elevator up from the sea level.
Okay, so we are
Onto
like
the
in a
floor.
tower,
Yeah. Well, you're now in the main, so it's
and are we
several
exposed to...
pylons that kind
I
of
love
come
it.
up to a large sort of superstructure
Okay.
built around this drill.
Okay,
And so you are inside. Everything here, though, is designed that if like parts of this place were to fall into the water, you could make basically any area around you watertight. Is what it looks like. So all of the doorways sit about 3 inches off the ground. All of the doors are sealable hatches.
okay, but we are inside.
Yes. Yes. I'm gonna need a trick roll from you, Tyrannic.
From my broom skills?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Oh,
damn.
roll that again.
Okay. Alright. That is a 17 for brooming.
So Tyrannic puts his head down, grabs a broom, and starts whistling, and just starts push brooming the hallway. What are the two of you guys doing as these? I mean, they're in jumpsuits. They're talking to each other.
Let's see, and they look like they're coming like towards us to.
Yeah,
confront us.
they. So remember everything. Like this is a giant square, and so they came down the corridor, walked past the elevator, and they're in this long path heading towards you.
I'm gonna walk towards them and say, Inspector General Simon here.
I will need a trick roll from you.
Yes.
What are you doing, V, while you watch this? Simeon has definitely, Simeon is aggressively moving towards these two guys, whereas Tyrannic has assumed the nondescript mien of a janitor on this thing, kind of.
With Peaches, has the dustpan. You know.
It's Peach's mouth, just the dustpan.
You kind of hear behind you this really kind of clap.
I'll open it. What?
We have company.
Oh,
Is this
Rick.
an opposed roll?
This will be sent to the.
So you step inside
technically,
and I
yes,
shut the
well,
door again.
I was thinking about playing opponent fails, but maybe I should see what
So
my
no,
roll is.
you're just. It's not an opposed roll. In this case, your target number is
Okay.
their trick.
Okay.
Roll high.
So I'm gonna spend a possibility,
Always a good sign, Chad. Always a good sign.
Oh!
and that's a 20, and it knocked the other one to a 19. Can I- it was a 5.
So roll
let's see.
again.
Roll again.
Roll
Oh.
again. Maddie's sitting on that glory card and really needs you to roll like.
Michael has one
Yeah,
too.
me too. Right, we're ready.
This is
So
the last thing I need, a glory incident in the middle of the South China Sea.
It's gonna happen.
okay, so I add that to my original, right?
Yes.
Or original
Yes.
roll. So let's see, 30. So 9, 12, so 21.
Nice.
Both of the people just kind of look at you. Oh, we didn't realize there was going to be an inspection.
Are you the one in charge here?
Oh, heck no. No. We're actually just turbine engineers, second class. We're not even first class turbine.
Well, I need
engineers.
him up here now.
Okay. And they both go running past, and the one on the right kind of is like, a surprise inspection? Good to see you, he says to you, and then just keeps running down the hall.
The mustache did it.
Mustache, yeah.
Mustache.
So, V,
So V's in the room now with
Yes.
us. V, this is Sanosuke.
hi.
Hi. Sorry, this isn't what you were expecting. We need to get to those labs, and we need to get there quickly. Our friends are causing a diversion, but I don't think we have a lot of time.
They're causing a diversion?
Yeah.
You do know that diversions bring people to this area.
Correct, which is why we need to go, because then if they're all here,
That's
Okay.
then they're not
okay,
somewhere
okay.
else.
The flop sweats have hit Sanosuke.
It's not good under pressure, huh? Doesn't perform.
Okay. So you need to get to one of the research labs. Do you know which lab you need?
No.
I don't think we do. Is there an onboard system I can try and see?
Yeah, there's totally a computer system in here. There's a terminal off to the side.
Great.
No, I don't know exactly which one. So we watch like V plug in.
Much better. 3, that is a 19.
Do you have anything to get you to a 20 for an outstanding success? Right now you're at a good success.
I need spend power. Yep. So that gets me to 9. So it's me to 25.
Okay. So one, when you sit down immediately, the browser comes up and it was like ordering flowers and a couple of other things that just wouldn't get here in time, even with Pan Pacifica Prime.
Do you need me to delete this browser history?
No. Ah, nothing. But what you discover is there are really 3 zones of the labs. Okay, the green zone labs are the ones that are processing whatever is being pulled up from the floor. There are yellow zone labs, which seems to be experimental research labs. Things like, with a 25, you clearly, where's that C9 boom stuff?
You have
Thanks,
that.
It's
guys.
under my bed.
Oh, you didn't bring it?
No.
No, I don't know how it works yet, and I can't even figure out what energy it uses, and so I'm afraid
Bummer.
of,
So,
it needs more experimentation.
Yellow zone labs are most likely where you will find this, the 3D printing technology that you were sent here to, like, well, not sent here to locate, but right, that could do the processing that you need. The red zone labs, even with a 25, you don't have access to. And what you can tell with a 25 is that they are pulling most of the geothermal heat that is coming out of these vents to power whatever is going on in those labs. And what's interesting is also the security protocols on the red zone, you don't trip any of them. But they're not just Pan-Pacifica security protocols. You see some things that are reminiscent of the Kerr, and you see some things that are reminiscent of the GodNet, kind of supporting the core Pan-Pacifica programming. So I mean, yeah, I was gonna like order some stuff, but it's really hard to get things delivered on short notice in the middle of the South China Sea.
When are you back on shore?
I mean, you know, I have leave coming up in like 2 weeks.
Oh, also Scotty's with me.
Hi! These two smell funny. I'm detecting new chemicals in the air.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Scotty, do you have the ability to hack anything?
Of course I do. And he turns around and he walks over to the fire, like the fire suppression wall, and he puts his fist through the glass and pulls out the fire axe. What do we need to hack?
Perfect. You just hang on to that, buddy.
Tyrannic,
No.
right?
I
Yeah.
am, as I see things to, like, you know, sabotage around here, you know, just so I could give myself some fuel in case, you know, the person in charge comes, I can point to all the things that are wrong about this place. So I'm going to be sabotaging things as I see fit around. So.
Okay. You find plenty of things.
I like it.
I don't know if this was the chat or our producer that made this joke, but yes, the yellow zone is for onloading, offloading. And the red zone is for, wait, no, it's the other way around. I'm sure 2 people are getting into an argument right now about it. So, what are we going to hack?
A little later, just keep that with you. I just needed to know if you could do it.
I'm not just going to lose my job, am I?
You know, you may want to bounce with us.
I've got my pension tied up in here. Okay.
What
okay.
if?
He kind of turns his face, make it look good.
Oh, well, now or?
Yeah, no, I don't want to know what you're doing. Well, we did establish that V has the lead hand. Do you hit him while he's talking to Lapis?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he doesn't see it coming.
He drops like a sack of bricks. You just see V's like silvered fist like down in front of your face.
Noted.
I can see the frame break in the comic.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so you know where to go.
Kapow.
I'm gonna find a piece of paper and start writing a note to him. Okay.
All right, where are you leading the group, V?
I will
No
kind of
pressure. It's just Edith's life on the line.
take like a circuitous route down to the yellow lab, so it's not apparent that we're beelining straight there.
All right, give me a mind roll real quick. It is true, Ben. Restart pointed out that Pazuzu last more than 2 episodes,
Yeah.
so what are Scotty's chances?
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a 1.
Did.
Oh no.
Alright, well that's not a...
No.
like-
Second chance that.
Oh no, well it wouldn't have been a disconnect because it was just a... but
Much
okay.
better. That was a 19.
Look
So
at
that's a
Becca being a
17.
team player. A 17? Alright, you're able to get down to the yellow labs pretty... like,
No. Sorry.
I was gonna say,
You said
with-
yellow lab, my brain went dog.
not golden lab.
Do we
but-
pet them?
Yes, you pet all of the labs as they go by. It is a very happy moment for me. But you get down there, you pass through enough. Like it sounds like you wanted to take a indirect route. So you see things like the crew quarters. You see things like there are several messes on this side of the rig. Several times you step out into a corridor that is like a floor, a wall, a little bit of an overhang, and then a metal railing that overlooks the turbulent sea as it breaks against the the massive pylons that have been driven down into the sea floor. But every time that happens and you have to go outside, right, you're sprayed with salt water, the temperature drops about 20 degrees, and you're getting used to it. You still kind of feel the back and forth sway of this thing. But eventually you get to the yellow labs, or the yellow zone labs, and you can see there's a lot of things going on. There are several assembly lines that are assembling defense bots, which Scotty kind of is like, those are my brothers and sisters. There are other labs that are, they seem to be, most of the information displayed on the screens to Simeon and V's eyes, they look like some sort of DNA that is being ripped apart and recombined and ripped apart and recombined. Simeon, you definitely see in one of these labs something that looks really familiar. There are, while the lab is set up and you can see there are papers and experiments running and data sets going across screens, there are also a large number of cables hanging from the ceiling that end in large rings, and some of them are just kind of swaying back and forth as if something not necessarily human but kind of resonates with you as you look about this lab. You can also see the massive bulkheads that separate the yellow zone from the red zone labs. They are massive steel doors with keypads, biometric sensors, and a lot of warning signs. Authorized personnel only. Unauthorized personnel beyond this point will be shot and killed. Private information, the Nanjing Corp's logo is just kind of everywhere here. But you eventually find your way to Lab 6, which is where you can actually see there are about 4 dozen of these small, about 1.5 meters square, and then they stand about 2 meters tall, so almost 6 feet tall, glass boxes with several arms that are moving about, and they are actually printing their things like rhino horns. You can see they're printing something that looks awfully similar to your arm, your cybernetic arm. They are apparently like at the bleeding edge of what this technology can do.
Okay. Do we see the computer consoles that are working these?
Oh yeah. Each station has six of these printers to a bank. Each printer has a small Tech 24 terminal in front of it. And you can see there's actually a hard light display that is displaying what is being printed. And you can see it slowly changing from everything's in yellow, and what is being printed in the module, in the module is green up until the point that it is printed. And there's a time remaining on a lot of these.
Are all of them in use?
They're all in use, and you can see that there is one woman in the lab. She has her feet, she is slouched in a chair. Her feet are up on a monitor, and she's got a paddle with a string and a ball. Just.
Now, is there anything that looks like it might be like a scanner unit?
In there?
Yeah.
Give me a find roll.
Let's see. Wait a minute. Sure, I'll spend a possibility.
I want to get like a little stand where I can like display all of the possibilities spent in a single night. I could use that altar. That
Oh, there you
that
go.
would be awesome.
So that would be a 25.
Oh yeah, definitely. There are
So-
several input. What it looks like is you go to one of the main stacks, input your parameters, and it will spit out a key card that you can then slide into the printer.
Who
and
was
have it.
carrying the DNA? Oh. And you're with
It
us?
is an off-brand
Yeah.
Kanawa Core Greg.
So,
I believe this is what we're looking for. I think we put that DNA in here, yes?
Sure. Pull it out.
Can I walk up to the scientist lady?
Yeah, it opens up and you immediately hear 215, 216, 217, 218, 219, 220.
Hi.
And she immediately falls out of the chair. Her her paddle hits the ground and just kind of slides under one of the server banks.
Sorry, I wanted to wait till you were on an even number. I know that.
That was my record. And she kind of looks around. No, that was just something that I was doing now to pass the time, and I've never done this before. Are you allowed in here?
Yes. We
We are inspectors.
Are you part of that surprise inspection?
we are.
I didn't think you would make it down to the labs. Tech specialist Sonia.
Shake her hand. So, Sonia.
Yes?
As part of our inspection,
Yes.
we need to test some of your equipment, so we have brought some outside samples to try and see how these printers work using foreign material that hasn't been around this lab. We know how stuff can be manipulated.
Nice.
This is really where Maddie's shines in this. So I'm gonna need a persuasion roll from you, B.
What is that? A charisma?
It's a charisma check.
Crap. Should we do it?
People believe in you. I'm not saying which people. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend a possibility on that. Not bad, but my charisma's not great. Ooh. 13 and 19 is 34? 2.
Mhm.
32, which is 10, so that's a 19. 18.
All right, so an 18 is a good success. If anybody has something they want to play to get V to a 20, that would be an outstanding success. Okay.
I don't have anything left.
Is that a possibility? Or,
Wait, you can't share possibilities.
can't.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
With that,
Oh, shoot, yeah, action would do it.
action would do it.
Thank you, Michael.
All right. Tyrannic
Give
coming
me
in to
a
help.
trade you-
And
Excuse me.
Sonia's like, no, that makes perfect sense. I've been saying for months that we need to do a third-party inspection to make sure that the scientists here. I'm not saying that they're not doing their jobs, but it's very easy to kind of goose data. So, funny story. That genetic experiment did get out, and anyway, it's very easy to goose
I'm gonna
data.
make a note, like I'm an inspector and
Yeah.
just like to.
No. So do you need help with anything, or is this like something that I have to leave the lab for?
Actually, since you're more familiar with this equipment, if you can help, and I will hand the.
These genetic samples?
Yes. I would like to see your process, how you do it, and then we will use the external materials to make sure that the machines are functioning properly. We'll do a separate staff.
If possible, we want to look at the technical aspect of this as well and get cranial samples.
Yes.
So you have this DNA.
Mm-hmm. This is DNA. Okay.
We're
She heads over
looking
to the input.
for really neck up.
And you hear something hit the window that's between this lab and the lab with all of the swinging things. And she, ignore Saru, he is being petulant today because it's my turn to play with the paddles, Saru. And she starts pounding furiously at the keypad. You
Is there
actually,
like a duck out there?
there was a chair that
Oh.
hit the window and then hit the floor. So you need me to print whatever these are. Just
Correct.
okay. So here, and she starts walking you through the process. So here's where we put the
I'm taking
sample
furious notes.
in. Here's where we do this. Here's where we extrapolate the data based off the genome.
I'm following and scowling.
So
Yeah.
the chair that hit the window is like, whatever it came from is out of sight.
It was out of sight. Yeah,
and
it
it's
definitely
not-
came down from the ceiling and then bounced off on.
I'm gonna go investigate that.
You go into the other lab. All right. What are you doing, Tyrannic?
I think I will bring I still have my broom. I think I'm
You
gonna-
do still have your
I think I'm gonna,
mustache, broom, little janitor cap.
I'm gonna go with them and nonchalantly walk by that door and see what's in there.
Are you walking by the door or are you going into the lab?
Walking by I'll walk by the door where
The window?
like the
Saru is.
Saru. Yeah,
Okay.
that's I'm
Yeah.
looking in the door window.
All right, so she's like, all right, so this is the process. It's a lot of techno babble. I assume V follows. I assume Lapis scowls and nods her head. And
Grunts.
about 6 minutes later, these 4 printed technical keys come out. And she's like, all right, we just go. She just cancels a row of printing. And you see her kind of pull the things out.
I'll take a look at some of them.
One's a what seems to be like a semi-automatic pistol. There are
It's not
several.
finished.
It's not finished.
Okay.
There are several things that definitely look like someone is misappropriating corporate technology and time to print like toys for their kids. Like one definitely looks like 3/4 of a Gundam. The other 2 weren't being used, but she had to scrap the whole line. And she puts them in, and she's like, "All right, well, in about 6 hours, these will all be finished."
Great.
Are you planning to stay here for the whole time?
Well, I mean, we have to methodically kind of work our way around, spot checking various.
No, I totally understand.
But as part of the inspection, we need secrecy in which labs we're going into. We don't want you telling another lab that we came in. So.
Are you gonna go check out? Come back to you guys in a second. All right, so you enter the lab.
Well, I was gonna check the door, or I was looking in the door for where Sauron, not Sauron.
Sauron.
Saru.
Saru.
Yes.
Or is he in the lab? Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
You don't know who Saru is.
Right.
We just want to see what. Take a
All
little
right,
peek.
both of you give me find rolls.
Hope you do good on this.
15.
15. All right. What'd you get?
I have some dust in my eye, and I got an 8.
You have some dust
From
in
the
your eye.
brooming.
Yeah, I'm furiously brooming.
You know it's called sweeping,
That's
right?
the way I do it.
Do you blink?
It's not the way I
That's
do it.
I'm just checking. I mean, that's like a Lopus to Tyrannic question of like.
I'm pretty sure that like
Yeah.
Tyrannic is like, look at me, I'm hacking. I'm finally hacking.
I've got this hacking down.
Is there something wrong with your robot? We'll come back. So with you had a 15, you said?
Yes.
You can definitely see there's something moving, like the rings, like swinging from ring to ring up in the darkness.
Okay.
This lab goes up like 2 floors in height, and the lights are only about 3/4 up the first floor, kind of illuminating all of the project equipment, but not revealing anything above it.
Yeah, I'll go in.
All right, so you step in, and you immediately hear, "Well, that was a mistake, little man. No one's allowed in my lab," and it sort of comes down from the darkness above.
Do I recognize the voice?
You do not.
I'm gonna back out. Or
This wicker basket comes out of the darkness and hits the door right next to you as you back out with the door still open, hits the wall next to the door, and you see a single banana kind of rolls out of it.
Do you pick it up and eat it?
No.
Be a sweet little chicken and throw that back up to me.
Father, is that you?
Twist.
Yeah.
You hear something that either is a bunch of expletives or just confused noises coming from above. And Tyrannic, you see a massive silver and white furred gorilla, like twice as large as any monkey you've ever seen in the living land, sort of drop down, holding onto one of these rings by its left foot, hanging upside down. You do not look like any child of mine. It is not your father.
Okay.
But the similarities,
What did she say his name was again?
Saru.
Sorry.
It is wearing spectacles.
Now, let's see. Okay, so,
Did she take my DNA and infuse it with some sort of pasty-faced, hairless monkey?
oh,
Is that what all of those tests were for?
I think I may have been raised by one of your brethren.
We're gonna jump back over while Dan processes all of this. I think there's something wrong with your robot. And Scotty is like leaned up against a server. So what brings a nice stack of hard drives like you into a place like this?
Yeah, we're working on it. There's.
Does it respond to him?
Some of the lights change colors.
Okay.
Just saying, you don't know what. I mean, Lapis doesn't know what that
No.
means, but
But like the fact that like the machine is like responding to him is like. Okay.
Yeah. It's an ongoing project. He is what he is.
you know it's against corporate policy to reprogram one of our bots.
Well, that's the thing. We didn't reprogram him. He was physically reprogrammed. I'm working on.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. But he was mine, so I'm really, look, it's a long story. I'm leery of other people working on my defense bot, bad experiences.
No.
in the
That's
past. So,
no. I'm so sorry.
if you can handle a little flirting, I think we'll be okay.
With me?
No, he's.
I mean,
he's.
you're not my type, but
He's very forward right now.
oh,
So, he's hitting on your server at the moment.
oh.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Are you going to inspect Akari's lab? Because you should.
It's on. It was mentioned. It's on our list.
Why do you say that?
Because. Wait a second. Is this one of those loyalty tests I keep hearing about?
No, part of our inspection, you can correct me if I'm wrong, Inspector. Part of my inspection process is to ask the associates what's going on, what's hinky to them, because they're the boots on the ground. They're the ones. So if you tell me to check out Akari's lab, I will check it out. If the uppity-ups tell me to overlook it, then I get suspicious.
And you see she kind of glances over her shoulder at the red zone entrance. Okay. This isn't a loyalty test?
Nope.
Would you tell me if it was?
Yes. It's here in the instructions, and I'll just scroll just a bunch of text real fast.
Oh, you don't.
Listen, I'm not saying that anything against corporate policies is going on, but I've seen a lot of weird things go in and out of her lab.
Such as?
Wackadoos who are kind of keep anointing the servers with oil and bowing before them, as well as some guy that had so many genetic mods. I don't know why anyone would want to look like a demon. And they keep talking about bleeding, bleeding all over the lab. I'm just saying, it doesn't sound sanitary.
You are correct there.
Or satanitary.
Satanic Terry? You can have a possibility, John.
Huh.
Is Akari in there now?
Oh, no, she had to go to... You should know where she went. I feel like there's a loyalty test.
It is not, but if you wish to.
I have to say, your loyalty is commendable.
You can give me a trick roll, and we'll come back to these guys.
Okay, so now as I'm having this conversation with him,
Yeah, he's currently hanging
I've
upside
taken the
down.
banana
Yeah.
and I've turned it upside down, so I'm peeling it from the back
Correctly.
side.
Okay.
Just like
I will reduce the DN of any interaction attempts because he feels like you are one of his own.
Nice.
and I'll hand it to him and ask him, would you like to get out of here?
Why would I want to get out of here? This is my lab. I run the genetic experiments here now. I am no longer one to be pushed with needles. I am the one who does the needling.
You were in control.
I am.
Well done, sir.
I have assumed control.
What are you doing?
I know, what is Tyrannic doing? I feel like you're like,
I think I just am processing that his dad is a monkey, I guess. And
right?
I guess I walk in and.
I mean, your dad was on a dinos, so I mean,
Yeah, I
a
guess
dinos who live in
so.
glass houses.
I guess so. So, Simeon introduced me to your friend.
That does feel like a very Tyrannic thing to say.
Friend.
Shit, I wrote down his name. Where did I put his name?
Saru.
Saru. This is Saru. Sorry, I've never mentioned this before, but the reason why I'm called Simeon is I was raised by a hyper intelligent ape, and
I am no ape. I'm a gorilla. But I am hyper intelligent. Thank you for noticing. What are you? Are you some sort of genetically modified lizard?
No, I'm from the
He kind of
Yucatan.
rotates around so that he lands on his feet.
It's an honor to meet you, though, kind sir. Will you show us around your lab?
Exist, yes. And are you genetically modified as well as he is?
I am not.
Would you like to be? I am always needing
Hey, all right.
live specimens to test my genetic modifications on.
Do it.
I had always wanted a second set of arms.
A second set.
Total of 6 loaves.
What do you want to be, some sort of Vorox with 19,000 arms?
Think what I can accomplish.
I have found that no amount of arms. I'm sorry, I just looked at the chat.
Yeah, the one that says Tyrannic is thirsty.
That's right. That's that would be exactly the. Thanks for derailing me, Restar. I was totally fine. I don't even remember what we were saying. Like that.
Arms.
Something about
You can have a
arms.
possibility there.
Too many arms.
Oh, that's right. I found that no amount of additional arms is any replacement for 2 good arms and 2 good. And he rolls back and holds up his feet and 2 good feet.
Well, maybe genetically modifying my feet to be prehensile.
Come with me.
Do we have time for this?
We got 6
We
hours.
got
6 hours.
6 hours.
All I need to do is prepare the gene mods, and then several injections, several hours, and possibly a bit of surgery, and we should be fine.
Oh, okay.
What about you? Is that part of your natural display, or something that you have augmented yourself?
Oh, these old things, and I pull out.
Woo!
Actual. What?
Careless Whisper plays in the background as Tyrannic. So, you wish to have feet like mine?
I do.
Good luck.
You
We've
seem
got
to be
6
quite
hours.
proficient with that broom. How are you with sterile environments and scalpels?
Good enough.
All right, so Simeon, Tyrannic, and Saru disappear into a lab in the back, and it's really the screaming that sets your teeth on edge. What are you two doing?
I made a 20 for my trick roll.
Okay, you. I really love our chat. Let's go toss that up there. Quotes that have amused me. Greymarch says 6 hours, so much for bleeding edge technology. They are replicating. They are 3D
Right.
printed from DNA. So I feel
Full
like
head,
maybe
6
that
hours is amazing.
Restar, your team is our Justice League. Greymarch, Judo Chop. That would have been amazing. Don't let your bot catch a virus. Also from Greymarch. The last thing you want is that to have a network transmitted disease to Scotty. So you got a 20. You put Sonia's mind at rest. No, you have a good point. Okay, all right. So listen, I'm just saying, Akari's into some, like, listen, the Corp can do whatever they want, but like, I've read the bylaws, I've read my contract, I know what's considered in bounds and what's considered out of bounds, and here's the thing, there's a lot of non-corporate personnel that have been on this rig and going into her lab.
Have there been anybody recently?
I don't know, would you call 12 hours recently?
Fairly.
She definitely grabs her cup of coffee. And you can see it's shaking because she's had so much of it.
Do you have any more of that?
Yeah. Look, you can clearly see a 3D printed espresso machine.
I look at it, and then I look back at her.
Sometimes the printers are down. I only took 7 minutes to print that.
Not bad.
Okay.
I mean,
I'm
it's
still
better
looking
for
at the
them-
cup of coffee because I'm like, I want one. I don't know how to use that.
I will go over and use the espresso machine. I'm assuming it's within my tech level.
Yeah, you guys can totally make yourself a cup of coffee.
Cool.
I'll taste it because I can detect if it's poison.
Thanks, appreciate
What's
it.
the plan?
I just hang out, chat with
Sonia.
Sonia, have her walk us through what a daily, like, I just keep her talking. So what is your daily
So you want to keep her talking for the
routine?
whole time?
I mean, kind of,
I
yeah.
don't really know that I want her to leave.
No.
And I know we don't want to leave
No.
in case we run into somebody else.
Right.
Also, there's screaming coming from this other room.
We're gonna, yeah.
I watched them walk in there voluntarily, so that's on them.
I've taught Tyrannic how to use the SOS feature on his phone
Right.
to make an emergency
You hold
call.
the button down
Pretty
until the
much.
red thing comes up, and then you swipe.
Yep.
Right.
So if it gets
I
really
mean,
bad,
Tyrannic has been doing a lot of swiping right this whole
right.
campaign.
His
but
screen is kind of scratched
I
towards the
think
bottom.
you get a text from me that's like man emoji plus ape emoji plus banana emoji plus blood or equals blood.
Is that like a group thread, or is that like just to me?
I think it's probably everybody. Yeah. So take that as you will.
There's no help, so I'm gonna let that.
Saru, your companion.
Oh, Saru. Saru is a very angry
Mm-hmm.
and selfish.
Uh huh.
I already told you earlier.
I'm sorry, very selfish. What?
Listen, did I stutter?
I mean, you got real quiet.
Saru is an incredibly arrogant,
Uh huh.
self-obsessed,
Uh huh.
selfish,
Uh huh.
hyper-intelligent girl.
Oh, okay.
Super intelligent girl. Okay.
He doesn't like anybody. So the fact that he took that other inspector back is either really good and then the screams come through the vents. Or really bad.
Just take note.
Yeah.
Inspector Simon will have to report on what is.
Yep. I'll take a note. And then we're just gonna keep her talking. So what does her daily routine look like? How long has she been here?
Oh, she will
What
fill
has
she will fill your mind with mind-numbing details.
Excellent.
Perfect.
And
That's why we
I
have the
was gonna say,
espresso.
That's
I
like,
show-
right? That's why I got you to make me a cup. I'm sitting there just like.
I show you how to do it so we can take turns just going back and forth over caffeinating. each
You
other.
up?
Oh no.
Nothing from Sonosuke, he's out.
I knocked him out.
Yeah.
But I will text back to Tyrannic. SOS? Question mark?
Smiley face banana.
Does Tyrannic know what SOS means?
Okay, so with that response, I will
Secure our.
say, in trouble?
It's just sauce.
Question
Simeon.
mark? Need assistance? Question mark.
Thumbs up.
All right, so Tyrannic, what I need from you.
Again, I'm sitting there going.
Do you have medicine?
I do have medicine.
I'd like a medicine roll from you.
Okay.
This will be a DN16, so try not to screw this up.
Too late.
You're
Am I
unconscious.
strapped down or? Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
you were
unconscious.
definitely. You were very quickly ushered into
Because
the
I
back
probably
room.
have my own like,
Restraints.
well, I was
Your
gonna
second
say,
one's on 9
in,
and 10.
Oh, is it?
in
Okay.
my mad scientist gear and stuff, I might have like,
Thanks
um,
for the
Dang. How many
numbing. What do you call? Anesthetic.
Anesthetic.
Hero,
Oh, don't worry.
You won more.
They have this. So,
Unfortunately.
the last thing you see before the blessed void of anesthetic-induced loss of consciousness hits is this gorilla face, like, right next to you. Do not worry. I will make you better, stronger, faster. I have the... You want to be smarter as well?
I mean,
He looks to
that's
you.
a pretty high bar, but
How dumb is this one right now?
Pretty dumb, but
Very well.
humans.
Faster, better.
well,
No, you, the monkey turns back to you.
Tyrannic.
Smarter. I have the technology. And he uses his foot to put this mask over your mouth really tightly. And then nothing.
Nice.
You don't happen to have any like hero cards?
Anything to button
Just one more point.
Michael's one short.
Yeah, if you have anything.
I have opponent fails.
This directly affects you.
Can I use Inspire?
What does Inspire do?
I play to give all Storm Knights their choice of one possibility, a draw from the Destiny deck, or they can recover 3 shock. It's kind of going to wait, but if we get, like, you know, draw from the Destiny deck and, like, maybe get a card.
Right.
You may definitely play Inspire.
Okay.
Do you-
Who wants a possibility, and who wants to draw from the Destiny deck?
Get a
I want
possibility.
a possibility. Because
I would like to draw,
I'll draw for the deck.
because I don't have anything else. My inspiration comes through the group text.
Oh, good.
Yes. Beautiful.
As I'm like, okay, no, I got this. So like looking at, you know, what emojis are in my recents, kissy face,
Sure.
Please tell me you find a feather.
you got this,
Okay.
Hope Simeon's okay? Question mark.
Alright.
Do you have extra
I
bananas?
gave you. Okay. What do you want?
That was a great deck.
Do you want me to cut, or do you want to take the top card off the deck?
I'll take
You are the person who gets to decide if it gets cut or if it remains the same.
I think cut it. Yeah, cut it.
Tell me where.
Yeah,
Here?
yeah, do that.
All right.
Card.
John, card or possibility?
Uh,
Was it
card.
romance?
No.
Was it romance?
No, of course not.
Damn it!
No, of course
Card.
not.
A card.
Reality rated hipsters. Welcome, Shenlu. Good to have you aboard. So,
So I have action.
Ooh, so you can get him up to.
Add +3 to the total of your test. Can I play it on his?
you can give him the card. If you
Oh,
play
so I
it,
can
yeah.
exchange it with
Sure.
you.
Cool.
What do you got?
I have leadership, maelstrom, coup de grace, glory, and I'm saving this one.
Fair. I mean, totally fair. What does leadership do?
2 cards into someone else's pool.
Oh, I'll take a probably coup de grace.
Coup de grace. Okay.
Scotty
If
comes
I
up
can
to
hit
you,
somebody
and,
harder.
like his whole body language is just dejected. She gave me a false IP address.
I'm really sorry, Scott.
All right, so
So that does it.
what do you get?
Then I wind up at a 7. Wait, was that
+3.
2?
So
So
plus
18?
3.
Oh, 18.
Okay. All right. So
Simeon's
what's
alive.
really disturbing?
Simeon's alive.
Yeah, Simeon's alive. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
But what's really disturbing is when you assist Saru in removing Simeon's legs,
Oh. Okay.
only to have them tossed in a bin
Oh.
labeled "future use."
Oh.
Oh.
And he hands you 3 injection vials and an injection gun. He's like, I need you, I'm Saru's words, what I need you to do is 1 in each temple
Okay.
and 1 up under the roof of his mouth.
All right. And I'll yell to Peaches to stay away from the leg vial.
Is Peaches already nibbling on like Simeon's leg?
I know my pterodactyl.
Has
all the cats
Peaches
are
acquired the
missing.
taste for man flesh?
That's very much so.
Oh, that's just, I'm making that as a note. So what you see is over the next 4 hours, Saru attaches gene-modded legs
Nice.
to Simeon.
This isn't weird at all. Yeah, stranger surgery, no problem.
This is pretty weird for you. What's your tech axiom on your sheet?
I'm gonna take 6.
Okay, so very quickly Saru is like, no, you moron. Here is how you put the vial in. Just give it to me. Make sure he doesn't bleed out, which you're able to do.
Nice.
We'll come back to you when you wake up. The weird thing is when he injects into each temple and under the roof of the mouth, immediately you start to see veins throb on Simeon's skull.
Okay.
It's really the sloughing and cracking noise that disturbs you most over the next little bit of time.
I'm so glad we're drinking coffee.
And
Yeah.
watching like heads
Completely.
get built in the 3D printing machine.
No, this
yeah.
is also very disturbing
Oh,
because
Oh yeah. No,
what,
no, I'm
what
like-
you see is
Especially when
you
those that it's
saw
like-
the pictures of Bureau G on the initial
that
reports that Mari
Right?
gave.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
moving.
Yeah, you guys, like Sanjiro's jaw with his tongue just wagging as they slowly build up over this. Are you asking Sonia any questions?
Any specific questions?
You get a text, by the way, Lapis.
Okay.
Shiner looks good. Didn't even see the punch. Going to lay down. Hope you're okay. And then he gives you an address,
Uh huh.
and it says, on leave in 6 days.
Cool.
Um,
So yeah, you see Lapis like.
Yep. Specific questions. Sure. I will ask Sonia if she's ever done any work in the Red Labs. Well, how long she's been in the Yellow Labs, if she's done any work in the Red Labs.
No, none of my projects have actually been approved to be in Red Labs. Like I found my. Are you familiar with the Peter principle, which is just sexist because it's named Peter? But
Well, yes. Yes, I have heard of the Peter Principle.
yeah, this is they keep telling me that I've reached my highest level of incompetence. But you know what? This is a lot of printing to manage. And so what if my So what if some of my projects have been called doomed to fail, impossible, beyond the realm of potentiality, or just plain icky? Listen, they gave an entire lab to a hyper-intelligent gorilla. I don't even know what he's doing with that inspector, but I promise you, Icky doesn't even begin to cover it.
What were some of
taking
your
pictures?
proposals?
Right.
I feel like it would just be a lot of screenshots and a lot of
I think
selfies.
there's definitely some selfies, and you can just make out some legs.
Like with
No, I just,
Simeon's
like,
legless
I
body.
feel like his claws
No,
pushing the
because
buttons.
it's just like his nose and his
Yeah,
mouth.
'cause he's-
Like.
Oh,
it's just
he's not actually taking selfies. He's
no,
accidentally
he's
taking
accidentally
selfies.
taking Yeah.
Greg, that sounds like a great idea. I would play in that in a heartbeat. And sloughing is a terrible word. I love it. Well, I mean, here's the thing, right? Rats fulfill an important ecological role in a city, but they're gross. So I thought genetically modified rats. We could get them to do all the things rats normally do, and then not do all of the gross stuff that we don't like them to do. I was told impractical, a waste of funds, and dead-end research. We are printing all sorts of cool technology, like guns. Not sure why you're printing heads, but heads,
Test.
rhino horns, all of these things. So I thought, why not print people who died too soon so that they can be set up in like mourning people's houses? They said that I should have my psyche eval retaken.
I mean, that feels a little harsh.
Then I was like, we do all sorts, like Saru's doing all sorts of genetically modified experiments, and I was like, 2 words, motorcycle tar. And they said, how would that even work? So instead of having my own lab, which I had for 6 glorious weeks, now I'm sitting here babysitting
Did you
3.
lose your lab?
Was it the motorcycle tar?
I don't want to talk about it. I've been told that it was on my permanent record.
Oh.
At this point, it has been several hours.
We're doing our best.
You now
Is it-
see.
I was gonna say-
You now see it's up to like the auditor's nose, which is currently wrinkling in distaste at the other 2 heads next to them.
Are these all easily identifiable as Bureau G?
Oh, 100%.
Okay.
You got Maru's files, if
Uh-huh.
you remember,
Uh-huh.
like right when you got to Pan Pacifica, you're like, I recognize the
Uh-huh.
members of Bureau G.
All right, so I'm gonna kind of.
Well, you don't
nudge-
recognize one of them, but there was one of them who was wearing like full power armor.
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah.
I kind of nudge V. Like, if we have to bounce, we can make this look like, casualties.
Fair.
Sonya doesn't hear anything.
Beautiful. So she lost her own lab.
Yeah, and then Akari, she's researching some bleeding technology. Not like bleeding edge, but they keep referring to like the bleeding or the bleed. Give me a mind roll real quick, Lapis. And you know what? It is unfair. Just because her dad owns one of the Kanawa Corporation's subsidiaries, she gets her own restricted lab with unlimited budget, and because 6 of my motorcycle tar subjects died horribly because the neural interface wasn't aligned properly, I don't. And it was a real shame about the fire.
There was
The
a
window.
fire.
And the windows breaking, and listen, all that seawater that had to get repumped out of that, I mean, sure, in the grand scheme of things, if you trace the series of dominoes back, it's my fault. But it's not my fault.
12.
12? You get a really someone walked over your grave sort of feeling as Sonya is talking about the bleed lab. This bleeding thing.
And it's just a door over there
Uh,
to the red zone.
yeah. Grey March and Restar are 100% on point. The corporation isn't interested in icky plans, more crimes against humanity plans.
There's no window in the door?
Nope. It is 2 steel doors that have come together in the center.
Makes a shuk noise.
It probably makes the shuk noise, but you haven't seen it open in the
As-
4 hours that you've been here.
As V's talking to Sonya, I'd like to kind of walk around the lab. Is Sonya at her desk?
No, Sonya's standing in front of the espresso machine. She has refilled her little cup about 24 times over the 4 hours. She looks at you and goes, "I'll be right back," and she heads out of the lab.
Okay. I just wanted to take a walk around casually, but if she leaves, then I don't have to be so casual. Over to her desk. Does she have any papers?
Everything's
Okay.
digital.
She have a tablet.
She does. She has a Zuzu, so her smart corporation issued smartphone.
Because like everything she says is interesting. I'm curious if she's ever made these observations, as Akari goes in and out of her lab, and just like if there's anything that's actually more detailed about it in what she has. Anyway. Okay.
Let me pause here. So, you watch over the 3 hours as you and Saru monitor Simeon's vitals.
Are we stitching up legs at this point?
Oh, that's
That happened a
Saru
while ago.
explains. Where did you learn medicine? Some sort of primitive tribal culture? The gene mods will take care of themselves.
I say, let me show you something. And he looks down, and stitched into Simeon is a heart, and I'm playing a romance card.
On who? Saru?
On Saru. That will be 3 possibilities.
Greg, I don't know if you're to blame for the romance card.
But you're gonna hold him accountable.
Let's say,
No.
you know, we have to get out of here after this. Do you want to come with us?
I mean, are you offering me the same things that the Machine Corporation is offering me? Labs, unfettered access to genetic experiments, and he points right at Simeon. Who, by the way, that cracking and sloughing noise is you have, like, at the 2-hour mark, all of Simeon's hair falls out. I assume Simeon had hair.
Did he
No,
have hair?
actually, he is bald.
Oh, okay. Well, what little hair he had left.
His
falls
eyebrows
out.
go.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
had a mustache.
But he did have a huge handlebar mustache,
Yeah.
and
I feel like I would be upset if you lost that. But what's really disturbing is the increase in the size of Simeon's cranium over the next 2 hours.
Yeah.
So it's like Megamind.
Less than Megamind and Coneheads, but more than like John's actual head. So like increase John's actual head by about 50%, or my head by 50%. John and I share a barber.
The razor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can show you the world. Anything you want.
don't say.
I won't say.
We'll come back to you in a second.
Licenses and all.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what do you guys do?
I asked me, leaving now might be.
My legs aren't done yet.
I don't know that.
You don't know that.
I'll text Trennick. Update? Question mark?
Black Heart.
One of those has to go look.
Oh.
It's on shoot.
All right, so Greg, I can lay this specifically at your feet, but I want you to know it has always been used to my personal amusement, and I want to thank you for it as well.
Well, I was gonna say, do you need me to download anything? In which case, I should stay here. You should go.
No, I'm good.
Did I give him his 3 possibilities?
Yes.
Already? Okay.
I'll take more if you want.
Yeah, get in there.
I never agreed to go.
One of us has to.
I will call Tyrannic. I turn on FaceTime. Tyrannic.
Oh, hey, V.
Hey, what's
This-
going on?
this-
So,
there?
this
hold
is
on,
not-
hold on. When it comes through,
Okay.
you hear shining, shimmering, splendid.
Are you,
This is not the best time.
are you guys able to leave? We've got a good opportunity to leave. Do we
Yes,
need
yes,
to-
yes. Gorilla legs. I gotta go. Bye bye. Can you help us get out of here?
I mean, aren't you?
You need to call Maru and give her an ETA.
Yeah, I will text Maru. How long do we have left on the heads?
You've got about an hour and a half, 90 minutes.
Oh.
I will text extraction in 50 minutes.
50. Okay.
That's 50. So that if there's any hang-ups, we have someone here. I want to try and get as close to these heads being done. I mean, we can smash them up later, but if like the top is missing, that's a little harder to explain.
And I text you +1 to boat party.
Tell him no.
Going to need more of an explanation. Boat isn't that big.
I think it's just the 3 dots, and then nothing.
We really can't let him go off by himself.
You can't, and then a romance card gets played. And it's
We
just,
didn't.
It's true.
This big monkey finger kind of covers your
Oh, okay.
lips. He's waking up. We should save this conversation for later. How do you feel, Simeon? So, Simeon, when
How
you
do
wake
I
up,
feel?
Yeah,
you
right.
feel not entirely like you.
Erase all these stats.
Your hips hurt quite a bit. Your head hurts, but you kind of feel like all of the pettiness, all of the haze that you've walked through your life up until this point, it's gone. You can see clearly now for the first time.
The rain.
And I'm pretty sure
The rain is gone.
that you are convinced that, everyone else is beneath you at this point. So, what they installed in your brain.
No.
So
I
one,
need another page.
so one, and you will have to pay for this with experience that will be given out. But
Okay.
You definitely can use your feet as hands.
Okay.
They are covered in white fur, and you're not entirely sure where these legs came from. Probably better not to ask. You can increase your movement rate by 2. You can use your hands, you can use your feet as hands, and you have the multi-thread genetic enhancement.
Multi-thread?
Multi-thread. You reduce any multi-action or concentration penalty by 2, meaning you can always split your action at no penalty. So 2 actions are at no penalty. 3 actions are only at a -2.
That's nice.
Nice.
Okay.
How
I
do
say-
you feel? Better,
I-
stronger, smarter, faster?
Well, I have felt better, but I know from past experience of self-experimentation that will pass.
It will. Do not worry if you wish to shed
How are
what
we the normal one?
if you shed
Half
your
robot, and I'm still more
physical
normal than that.
limitations. I will be there every step of the way,
Oh.
for
Do
I'm
you know
coming
John's
with you.
smell that?
Yeah.
Now, I have found the answer to the insolvable equation. And he kind of puts like a possessive arm around Tyrannic and pulls him close.
FYI, one of your stitches is in a little heart on your leg, so
Yeah,
don't
also, you can clearly see that one leg was clearly stitched up by someone professional.
Oh.
And one leg's, like, the stitches say T and S for, like, the number 4, Eva. Hearts.
Here's my question. Can we start taking bets now on the Grigori Saru deathmatch?
Oh, triangle. Okay.
I'm sorry, Tyrannic. When it comes to the geometry of your love life, you left, like, simple 3-sided shapes behind, like,
We're past
at
that.
least one romance card ago.
Right.
You were at least at a square, possibly
Sweet
a
to
pentagon.
Grigori, Saru.
Yeah.
Japanese Italian kisses, and the boat guy wasn't doing it for me, so there's that doesn't count.
Okay.
I feel like in the worst possible crossover between the Torg stream and the Fading Sun stream would just be Tyrannic and Jexa sitting across the table from each other recounting their harems.
So it's still like a
Not that
cage
bad.
match.
It's not that bad.
Still a cage match.
So
Yeah.
who do we put our bets on? The man who sleeps on nails?
Yeah.
Or the giant monkey that can rip everybody apart.
So, Chad, I guess if you're interested, let's place some bets on who would win in the Grigori Saru
My pet's on Saru.
deathmatch.
Hyper intelligent monkey that can
All
rip
right,
everybody
back
apart.
on the inside. What are you guys doing?
Can we do I think my cyber deck lets me do something cool. Can I just, while she's out of the room, try and copy the data on her pad?
Okay, you are definitely able to do that.
Great.
Along with the ability to, if she, updates her passwords at any point in time, copy them.
Yeah, so I actually have a thing on my cyber deck. The Data Miner 2.0 was developed to quickly extract information from computers, downloading information in seconds instead of minutes, and making the data available for retrieval later.
Nice.
You definitely do that.
Cool.
At this point, the two of you see Saru walks out, sort of cradling Tyrannic like
a giant monkey just walked out.
like a papoose
Ow.
in the other lab. And Simeon walks out, and his skull seems to, in the last 4 hours, to have increased in about 50% capacity. And he is walking really awkwardly on two monkey hand legs.
Does he have pants? Or are we Winnie the Pooh in it?
Oh. Interesting.
I was gonna
detail.
ask. I was gonna.
Now all I can see is that scene from Deadpool 2 in my head. Little Winnie the Poohing it. I'm going to assume that I'm going to leave this one up to John. I will not attempt to impose my headcanon upon you.
Do you
Purple
have-
shorts.
Do you have pants?
We just removed the legs at the hips.
Yeah,
So, like I think pants would be appropriate, or at least like a
I do have.
Hero G branded.
I do have pants,
Speedo.
but I'm looking around for my legs, not because I'm attached to them, but because I
But,
was attached to the rocket boots that were
Oh,
accompanying
yeah, you want
them.
those rocket boots.
So-
yeah.
Oh no! Don't worry. Those have been retrofitted in the intervening time
Oh.
to fit your new monkey
Oh.
legs. They're not boots. They're just kind of like anklets.
Old school roller
Integrated.
skates.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought integrated
Yeah.
like they were built in.
No.
I just like that we've now used Winnie the Pooh for two different reasons, like Winnie the Poohing and anyway.
Yeah.
Certified Torganic puts money on Grigori.
Excellent.
Zero Earth Element has put money on Grigori.
Interesting.
Phantom is saying that they find common ground in mutual adoration.
So
And
a
Zero Earth
throuple?
Element is right with me, right? Purple shorts, like Hulk shorts. That makes the most sense.
Yeah.
So a love throuple with okay, great.
Yeah, don't worry about it. He does that all the time. Holy crap, he has monkey legs, is what Scotty says.
Yeah, we're working on that, Scotty. Can we find some kind of bag to put the heads in? To, like,
They're about
Santa Claus it
done,
out?
and it's really disturbing
Ugh.
how not just accurate, but like down to the hair on the face that
Mm.
moves with the slight air disturbance of the arms, the fact that you can actually see like right when you take like a mini or something, if you're painting it, or like an action figure, there's that uncanny valleyness of the flesh tones. This is, you can actually see like the layers of skin that have been built out, the veins. Obviously there's nothing flowing through them.
Right.
So they all look dead, but the hair is hanging down.
So, can we find a bag to put the heads in?
Yeah, I
And
got
while
that.
we're putting the heads, can I pull the card that we used and wipe? Yeah. Oh,
wipe any security.
well, so that's the other question. I technically have a perk that does not let me be recorded on surveillance. Does that extend to everybody else, or is it just ghost
I
now?
need you to say that whole thing in your nerd voice. No.
Excuse me.
I
have
it
to
applies
special-
only to you, but if
Okay.
you would like to make a computer's roll at a DN16,
Okay.
you may attempt to wipe that. At this point, Sonia comes in. That was too much coffee. I feel like one of them little pastry things.
But it was delicious.
Yeah, it is. I'm telling you, for a 3D printed machine,
All right.
17.
yeah, you make it.
You have given us plenty of information. I appreciate your time that you've taken to assist us.
We will.
Are you
notice-
taking these as samples?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will notice your cooperation.
They're
in
gone.
our
They're in my
report.
bag already, so
Right.
yes.
And I have destroyed like the little thing we put in and all of the DNA that we put in. Like.
No,
any-
you wipe
Great.
everything. Yeah.
Great. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. We will pass this up the chain. Maybe
Will it go
your-
on my permanent record too? Because honestly, the Mototar had potential, and I understand that it didn't. What the hell happened to him?
New legs.
Seriously, he gets a whole lab,
We will see.
and
here's
I.
the thing. We will put a note in your record, your cooperation. Hopefully, this will go towards.
I believe
Getting on the
we
lab.
need to take Saru in anyway because we need to discuss some of his experiments.
he's out in the hallway, and you can see. Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean,
By sorrow,
Crossed
couldn't
a
have
few
happened to a nicer gorilla. That guy just keeps
I mean, the
stabbing
fact
me
that
in the back.
our inspector was here for 6 hours.
Well, here's the thing. Why did he let sorrow experiment on him?
No.
That's actually a good question.
We know.
Like that feels like dedication to the inspector role.
He's always been a little.
Okay.
but yes, we'll leave a note in your record.
And you'll take up my complaints and my
Yes.
ideas.
Absolutely.
Imagine, if you will, corporate security riding down the street like some sort of magnificent centaur. Pumping motorcycles.
I mean,
think
that
I
can
can.
happen.
Listen, the bleeding out. I understand it's a concern, but I think I have it fixed. I just need 3 motorcycles and 6 volunteers.
Yeah. Here's okay, and then once everyone has heard it out.
Because like Lapis is
heard-
like definitely going for our gun.
Well, I mean, Scotty's already got his axe. I will herd Scotty out.
Should I hack her?
No. No, but thank you.
He kind of eyes the server bay and then follows Lapis.
And then I
See,
will
like,
say,
flex.
now, because this was a spot inspection
Yes.
and we are testing out your equipment,
Yes.
we need you to keep this quiet until we can analyze the prints that we made. So we'll get back to you, we'll put this gold star. And I'm gonna actually, like, once we leave, hack her record and, like,
Actually put in.
actually put in
That's good
different
follow-up.
things.
Good follow.
But for now, mum's the word until we get this clear. We don't need leaking. We don't need someone trying to tamper our results. We don't need any of that. So we really appreciate your
Alice.
Alice.
Alice is my mom's name.
Okay, great.
Okay. All right, so I think
And I'm gonna ping.
Sorrow knows the way out, so.
Right,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna ping our ride to figure out where
who
they.
had a ton of like combat encounters planned?
I was like ready for them.
I was totally ready for this. Okay. All right, so you guys call in Maru's chopper, which she said she would have ready and have the appropriate. So in about 20 minutes, a chopper arrives. You guys make your way up, and we're gonna end the session with you guys with the door swinging shut. You have a little bit of like tension that you don't understand why is there until you realize you're on a chopper with tyrannic. Last time that happened, you definitely got booted to the face, but the door closes without you being left behind.
Tough. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorrow's with us though, right?
Saru is with you,
Yeah.
That's gotta help.
and he kind of gets in, he sits down, definitely gorilla spreads on one of the seats, and pulls tyrannic onto his lap. And that's what where we will end as you guys fly back to deliver these printed heads to your contact in exchange for Edith. We will start right there
Okay.
when we come
So,
back.
I'm going to take an electric katana, like so to kind of finish it up. Electric katana to like the necks, as if it was like cut off and cauterized.
Oh, so you're gonna
Yeah.
take the
Mhm.
like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
like the
Yep.
final layers
And
off.
we'll,
Yep.
we'll do a
And
little.
I will also shoot them at different points in the head, so like they were killed by me.
Damn, Becca.
And then that way, when I drop the
So
heads,
you defile
it's-
the fake
Yes.
heads
Yeah.
of
Looks like-
your OG.
It
There
looks
may be
like
some-
they died.
bruises, some cuts.
Okay, so you
Like-
definitely like.
Yeah, we doctor
Mhm.
the heads.
Because it needs to look like they weren't just printed, they were taken.
All right.
But
Well, we're gonna take the next 2 weeks off. We've got some logistics to work out, and we will be back the Monday or the Tuesday after Labor Day for more Torg. Again, we're gonna take the next 2 weeks off. Chat, you guys have been delightful as always. I look forward to chatting with you about ideas on the both in the chat, and if you are on the Iconic Production Discord server, I'd love to chat with you more about the game. Check out all the other great shows on the Ulysses International channel. Heretical Musings, which is a behind-the-scenes look at Fading Suns. Myth Campfire Chats, which is a behind-the-scenes look at the new RPG coming out from Ulysses here by the end of the year, first quarter. I'm not sure exactly when it will come out, but Myth, the role-playing game, being developed by Ross Watson. Myth Dawn of Heroes. There are shows about the board game that is coming out. Eric is working on that. We'll be back on Thursday night with more RPG streaming, where we will be continuing with the Fading Suns game, which will be the Assault Team, which will be several battle orders, Gemma and Calypso, as they attempt to end the threat of Count Orlatan and Tag. So thank you all for joining us. As always, thank you guys for playing. I would not be able to do this just by myself. I love gaming with you guys. I love telling your guys' stories. Tyrannic, thank you for your prolific and indiscriminate use of the romance card. I don't know if you saw this, but Greg, who is, again, the Greg of Torg, has said the romance card is mine, and Tyrannic is the most ardent user of the card that I have personally seen.
That's great.
So,
That's high
I mean,
praise.
that is a
Right.
badge that you can wear for the rest of time.
Right, on my tombstone.
That's right. Well,
I keep getting feud cards, and I'm like, sweet, everybody's mad at me. Tyrannic keeps getting romance cards.
He's a lover, not a
That
fighter.
fits your character.
I
that
mean,
fits my character.
apparently.
Apparently, the cards have determined both of your personalities. So we will be back in 3 weeks, which is just weird to say, with more Torg, the Horsemen. We will be approaching the end of the Pan-Pacifica arc. We will be pulling Edith back into the game, and looking forward to sharing more of these stories with you guys and with the chat. As always, thanks to our tireless moderator, Phantom of Truth, and our equally tireless and indomitable producer, JD. Thank you as always. We will be back in 3 weeks. I'm JM the GM. These are my horsemen. And until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay gaming. Have a good one.